And we are back into our second hour of election night, midterm coverage. I'm Sam Sachs.
I'm Sam Knight.
We are in the well-fortified Sentinel bunker, sponsored by the DSA Accelerationist Caucus. Subscribe to us on Patreon, patreon.com/District Sentinel. That's, of course, if you aren't already.
I think it's time for some critical alerts.
We got critical alerts happening here?
We do have some critical alerts.
Jesus Christ, I have to switch all this music already here. We needed to wait till the intro music runs out.
Well, okay, let's not go to critical alerts because I'm sure some of this you already know. And
actually, let's just go to critical alerts.
Let's go to the critical alert. Breaking.
What do we got?
20 minutes ago. Independent Bernie Sanders has won re-election.
Wow.
To the U.S.
Bernie has won re-election.
Bernie, U.S. Senator, again. Congrats. Congrats to Bernie.
But will he serve out his full term?
We also have people calling it for Tim Kaine.
Wait. What?
We have Politico has called it for Tim Kaine.
Wow.
NBC News has called it for Tim Kaine. There are barely any...
A white supremacist lost for once here.
It looks like that's the case. There are barely any results coming in from Virginia at this juncture, but evidently exit polls are so overwhelmingly in favor of Timothy Kaine.
Yeah.
That sorry, it sounded like I had emotion in my voice. I'm still sick. Tim Kaine's winning. He's going to beat the white supremacists, so that's good.
That is good.
He is now.
Me amo Tim Kaine.
He's now 1 for 2 against
against white
supremacists. So, well, maybe I guess higher than that. I guess it's safe to say that his Republican candidate pre-Trump was probably a white supremacist too. Let's just say that. Fuck that. There are other calls that are being made, re-election calls. People in Florida, Daniel Webster, Republican, he's won his seat.
These are all none of these
are surprises. These are all incumbents winning very early in the night. So a lot of these are expected. Ted Yoho, he's winning. Bill Posey, another Republican in Florida, alongside Ted Yoho, he's winning. Democrat Al Lawson in Florida, he's won. Same with John Lewis and Bobby Scott in Georgia. So, again, none of these are surprising. A lot of these are uncontested.
Of course, we're keeping an eye on these Florida races that are contested. These are potential pickups for Democrats. They need 23 to take the House. We got Florida 15, Ross Spano against Kristen Carlson. This is an open seat. This was a retiring member, someone leaving. This was not DeSantis' seat. That's Florida 06, I believe, between Soderberg and Waltz. We got Florida 26, Curbelo, an incumbent in trouble. Florida 25, Mario Diaz-Balart. Florida 16, Vern Buchanan. Florida 18, Brian Mast. Florida 6, Nancy Soderberg. Those are all potential pickups for Democrats.
And if I may jump in, there's also, of course, the Florida Senate race. We have Bill Nelson trying to defend his seat against Skeletor, Rick Scott, the current governor of Florida. Scott is currently up by a razor-thin 0.2%, 0.2%. Still very early, 2.2% of precincts reporting. Who knows if that will go, or how late that will go, or if Gillum Mintum will see Nelson over the line early.
Yeah. Marius saying, thank God you're back. CNN basically my only option out here in Australia. And not only are you two more entertaining, but you're more informative as well than CNN. We watched a little bit of MSNBC during the break here. You were yelling at the TV a bit.
I have it. Okay, this is definitely not a critical update, but this is the first time of the night that my eyes have lit up. I'm looking back at the Kentucky 6th District. Andy Barr.
This is one we've been highlighting.
We've highlighted it. Andy Barr is defending his seat. He's currently down by 6 percentage points against Amy McGrath. 6.1 percentage points, 41.2% of precincts reporting. So it looks like on this course, the first House seat of the night to flip will be the Kentucky 6 to flip from Andy Barr to Amy McGrath. It's looking very likely. And we'll see how this goes.
Yeah, and this was probably one of the most middle of the road, vulnerable Republican seats. I mean, there's some really vulnerable Republican seats when you get to people like Mike Kaufman in Colorado, Roscoe in Illinois, Yoder in Kansas. But look, Barr in Kentucky was considered a toss-up. This was a race considered a toss-up by Cook Political Report, and it looks like he's losing.
Yeah,
that could portend a rough night.
Yeah, it certainly could. I guess the one bright spot, if you're Republicans right now, you're thinking, well, thank God Barbara Comstock hasn't officially lost yet.
Yeah.
I'm looking at the results right now per Politico, 0% reporting. There are some interesting results from another closely watched race. Dave Brat, piece of shit. He is winning by 0.5% right now, 5.7% of precincts reporting. Do you feel like Republican precincts do better earlier in the night? I feel like all the precincts in the GOP. Again, I guess I'm sort of dovetailing with conspiracy theorists here, but I feel like anyway.
Well, I think it's just geographically. You have a lot of states in the east, southeast that are closing early, polls that close early.
No, but I mean within districts that the conservative areas tend to get their votes in.
Oh, get their votes in?
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's just less. They for some reason they always seem to have less trouble getting their votes in. I don't know why that is.
I do not know why either. Any update on Bill Donnelly yet? We featured Bill Donnelly in Joe Donnelly in this week's zine, mentioning that, to be honest, wouldn't mind seeing them go. Joe Donnelly, one of those, Democrat from Indiana, Senate seat.
It's not looking good for Joe at the moment, but still only 10.3% precincts reporting in Indiana. But right now he's down by 20 percentage points. Mike Braun up 58.4 to 37.7. But again, just to stress, very early there. And again, probably the Republican areas were counted first.
Yeah, Joe Donnelly this week or last week during a debate talking about how he's open to the idea of changing birthright citizenship, bragging about how many times he's voted for a border wall, bragging how many times he's voted down sanctuary cities, trying to act like Trump. We'll see if it pays off for him. Others doing the same thing. Claire McCaskill out in Missouri. Let's see when Missouri polls close.
I believe
they close around 8.
9 Eastern time. Let me get back to you on that. I'll get back to you with a precise answer on that in 5 seconds.
Anyways, it's 8 p.m. here, Missouri. 8 p.m. closing.
8 p.m. Eastern time.
Yeah. So we had Claire McCaskill talking about the caravan, how she supports Trump 100% on stopping that caravan, not letting it come across, not letting refugees into the U.S.
I am writing off the Senate. I don't care. Like, does it really matter if it's like 51 or 52 or 53 seats? I mean, some of these Democratic senators you're highlighting, yeah, wouldn't mind seeing them go. We just need the House for subpoena power for now. And quite honestly, time to bust out the little violin if Claire McCaskill loses. I don't really give that much of a shit.
Yeah, and last one, Joe Manchin there, who probably will win tonight.
Probably, yeah.
Joe Manchin also talking about possibly changing birthright citizenship. And let's not forget that old Joe supported Brett Kavanaugh.
Can you hit me with the critical alert?
Whoa. We've got a critical alert coming up here,
folks.
The
critical alert?
I can do that.
Critical alert. Democrat Charlie Crist wins re-election to U.S. House, Florida's 13th district, according to AP Politics. Not really that much of a critical alert, but sometimes you got to refresh the critical alert function just to make sure. It's a muscle, right? You got to exercise the muscle, or else it will atrophy, and that's what we did just now.
Let's see. We've got Marvin's in the chat. Marvin's saying, Ohio about to come in. Here's hoping Dennis Kucinich swoops in and takes it all. Don't count out Dennis Kucinich just yet, folks. Mounting a write-in campaign that only I got news of, I guess. Ohio, also, looks like we got a A Richard Cordray voter in the chat room here. What are Richard Cordray's chances tonight, I wonder?
I think it is a toss-up on Cordray. It was about 50-50, unless I'm mistaken. But he's got a good chance. I think he's got Sherrod Brown to feed off of, the Democratic senator who's quite popular, who's going to coast to re-election in Ohio, it looks like. Cordray, he is a bit of a nerd. I'm not sure.
He's a Jeopardy champion.
He's a Jeopardy champion, and we've watched him for years frustrate Republicans while testifying as the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau head, but I'm not sure how that translates so well into being a politician.
I believe the Sentinel endorsed Kucinich in that primary.
I think we did.
I'm also noticing some people in the chat room here who can't believe that Al Giordano lost to Bernie Sanders.
I wonder if he got any write-in votes. That would be a hell of a thing if he did. So I've got my eye on one South Carolina race. It's expected to go Republican, but you never know. I mean, no, you don't never know. It's probably going to go Republican. But either way, the first district, happy trails to Mark Sanford.
Mark Sanford gone.
He's gone. He already lost in the primary, but Katie Arrington, who unseated him from the right, is trying to
going to probably win.
Probably
going
to win, but it's nevertheless it's something to look out at or just to watch. Everyone remembers Mark Sanford. He was the governor of South Carolina, and then retired because he was having an affair, and also lied about the affair by saying he wasn't in Argentina having an affair. He was actually hiking the Appalachian Trail, which he wasn't doing.
Yikes.
It was funny, you know. I'm not gonna go all Ken Starr on him, but
we've got Emma in the chat room noting that Cordray is the dorkiest boss they've ever had. I could see that. Kucinich met with Kevin's local DSA chapter and told them that he was a secret socialist.
Hell yeah.
Oh, wait a second. We've got an alert here. I've got an alert to get to here.
Alert it
here. This is a non-election alert. I've got news. Alan Ventano is out in West Texas oil fields doing wet work for Beto O'Rourke, folks.
Is he vaping on an oil rig though? That
is unconfirmed, but we have news about Alan Ventano. I've been worried for months about Alan. Good to hear that he's doing okay.
We're getting some early numbers for Barbara Comstock, and as expected, it is not looking good for the Northern Virginia Republican. She
Look at some of these Virginia races while you talk about that.
Currently down to her challenger, Jennifer Wexton, 58.1 to 41.9. Early still, 1.4% of precincts reporting. But you feel like for Comstock to have any shot, she needs all the help she can get, and it's not looking that great for her at the moment.
No, and you assume if this holds up and the bar results hold up in Kentucky, that's already 2 seats that Democrats have picked up. And bring the magic number down to 21.
By the way, Joe Donnelly is gaining ground on Mike Braun.
Joe Donnelly gaining ground.
He's only down 15 percentage points.
Any word on that Jackie Walorski race against Mel Hall? Have they called that one yet? This one should have been called by now.
Jackie Walorski was up by a lot, and I'm going to have to pull this up in a sec. So
we'll find out more.
I can actually delay and pretend like I'm talking about something else, but really I'm scrolling down to the Jackie Walorski.
Jeffrey noted that Al Giordano lost in Vermont because he blocked the entire state on Twitter.
Welcome to the block party, dude bros. Jackie Walorski is actually, she was up by a lot earlier. She's only up 56.8 to 43.2.
Tightening a bit,
moment. A little bit, tightening a bit. Seems to be tightening a bit in the direction of Donnelly gaining. Obviously, not a statewide race.
Jeffrey also noting in the chat room that very early returns in Georgia have Kemp up 71-28 over Abrams. Very early.
But again, as we noted, the Republican areas
get them in quick. They're on top of it. This reminds me a little bit.
It's easy when the vote's not suppressed, isn't it?
This reminds me a little bit of a conversation we had with Luke O'Neill a few months ago
Yeah.
about how freelancers, especially in left media, have so much trouble getting paid from all these outlets.
Yeah.
And I wondered if like right-wing freelancers have this problem.
No.
Maybe these outlets are just on top of their game, have all their paperwork ready to go, filled out, buttoned up, and get all this stuff done. So the same thing with the voting results. They have that shit just buttoned up, ready to go out the door.
I think it's because they get more resources and
Yeah, that too.
the voter suppression.
Same thing with the right-wing media outlets too. Let's be clear.
By the way, update in Florida, Bill Nelson has taken the lead, 51.3 to 48.7. He is pulling ahead of Skeletor, 9.4%.
That's good.
Excuse me, precincts reporting. Gillum is, I know we're not focusing so much on governor's races. Gillum is also up. Not a surprise because Nelson is also up. So that's what we got going there.
Still lots of talk here in the chat about interns suck, and they want to know if interns suck might have gotten you sick. Did you contract the same disease as interns suck?
I don't think that I did. But, we don't know. We can't say for sure if I have contracted the same disease as intern suck. But if I do, I will probably die because intern suck is dead.
At 8 p.m.
I just scooped our next shot. Sorry.
Okay. Do we need to stop for a second?
Maybe.
Intern suck is not dead, all right? Let's listen.
I
It's
thought
not looking
intern
good.
suck was dead.
Well, we haven't confirmed it yet. So, and we haven't talked to a botanist yet to confirm this. So, intern suck just isn't doing very well. Look, 8 p.m. coming up in about 20 minutes here. We're going to have polls starting to close in Texas. Texas, one of the states we're looking on, we highlighted in the zine this week. Pray for these dipshits to lose. One of them, of course, being Senator Ted Cruz.
Do you think he's going to lose? I don't think he's going to lose, unfortunately.
I have no idea. I mean, if you're going based on what the polling's showing coming into it, he's probably going to lose. But look, we've got, what's his face? Our boy Barr losing early here in a toss-up. So maybe things are shifting leftward. Anything can happen.
Maybe. By the way, Amy McGrath still up, almost half of precincts in. She's still up by 4 percentage points. So that lead is still holding on there. So still waiting. I doesn't, my math intuition tells me it's still too early to call it, but maybe soon. Who knows?
Yeah. We also got Steve King. We're keeping an eye on that race. Hopefully, another white supremacist can lose tonight, along with Corey Stewart. That Iowa coming up at 10 p.m. Those polls close.
Scrolling through some Florida results now. Debbie Wasserman Schultz off to an early lead. I think there was some talk that some chatter online that she could maybe lose to Tim Canova in a write-in campaign. I never bothered to fact check that. But it doesn't look like it's gonna happen. There is on the Politico results page. It's Wasserman Schultz 55.2, her opponent Joe Kaufman 41.2, other 3.6. That could be the Tim Canova vote. But yeah, it's looking like Wasserman Schultz is back on our bullshit.
Good news all around right now out of Florida for Democrats. 52-47 Gillum early. And Ron in the chat room is noting that Gillum is leading Duval County right now by a bunch.
I've got something else for Flip Watch.
Something
by the
that
way.
Rick Scott and a county that Rick Scott and Trump won in 2014 and 2016.
Something for Flip Watch. Curbelo is losing. Carlos Curbelo.
That's over in Florida, right?
Oh, yes, correct. Florida, the 26th district, and Debbie
Mucarsel
Powell is currently up by a healthy or /slim, depending on your view of things, 1.6%. No, sorry, yes. Wait, I'm sorry, I'm bad at math. No, it's 0.4%. There we go.
We were just talking about
it's slim, but
about Steve King losing potentially tonight, and what that would mean. All the things that we would do.
Sir, stop it.
What?
Another
Excuse
potential flip in Florida looks like it's happening. Donna Shalala up 52.2 over her Republican opponent Maria Elvira Salazar. She's got.
We didn't even include this in our list here because this was pretty heavily favored toward Democrats, but it is a pickup.
It is a pickup. It's Rose Letninen's seat, so
Yep,
she's
gone.
She can call for bombing countries back into the Stone Age in the private sector. She can call for fucking genocide by airstrikes for a think tank for next year. She can walk into the sea for all I care, but at this point, her seat is going to be taken by a Democrat.
And we're getting some news, according to Ron on the chat room, who's is he citing red district or red? I'm guessing that's a typo, but they're calling Wexton the winner in Virginia 10th.
We're
going to save the critical alert until we get more confirmation here.
58.1% Wexton, 41.9% Comstock, 57.8% reporting. It's looking not so good for Barbara Comstock, who also, along with Rose Lettinen, will be looking to the private sector for her next awful thing.
Dave Bratt losing early in Virginia. Still a lot of the vote to come into. That would be another flip. Assuming we've said our spiel about Dave Bratt here.
We have Dave Bratt, unseated cantor. Steve Bannon actually campaigned for Dave Bratt. I feel like we should note that. We haven't noted that. Steve Bannon campaigned for Bratt. Breitbart was big in helping him unseat Cantor. And I don't think Steve Bannon will help him that much on the trail, but who knows?
Some of the there's a chat room discussion right now wondering if you had to choose who to heel, Intern Suck or Sam Knight. Who would you heal? I can tell you who needs it more right now.
Intern Suck?
Yeah, definitely. And Ron's saying, yes, Red District is calling it. I'm not sure what Red District is, but I'm assuming I'm going to wait a little bit on Red District.
Going to wait a little bit on Red District, but you look at the numbers, not looking so good for Babs.
Can you hold the mic for about a minute here? I'll be right back. I have to get the computer charger.
My man is getting the computer charger. So I am holding the mic. I'm holding the grounds here over at the Sentinel Fort, the DSA Accelerationist Caucus. I can't remember the name. I'm sorry who paid to name it, but I will remember it or write it down in the future, not now. Checking now to see how the Bratt-Spanberger race is doing in Virginia. Bratt up. Unfortunately, by 3 percentage points, Dave Bratt might hold on to his seat there. Steve Bannon evidently might still have some pull somewhere in the country. It's 28.5% of precincts reporting. So we'll see how that goes. There is another fight in not South. That was Southeast Virginia. Over in Southwest Virginia-ish, we've got Denver Riggleman versus Leslie Cockburn. And Riggleman is up 58.6 over Cockburn, 41.4. 40.6% of precincts reporting. That, I got to say, a bit of a disappointment for Democrats that Cockburn is down so much to Riggleman.
Did I miss any critical alerts?
You did not miss any critical alerts.
Good.
And this is, of course, the seat that Tom Garrett currently holds. He's retiring to get treatment for alcoholism. And it was a reach bit for Democrats. Trump carried the seat by 11 points, in 2016. But if you'll recall, this was a seat held by Tom Perriello, a Democrat. He lost his seat during the Tea Party wave in 2010. So Charlottesville is in this district. I think there was some hope that maybe it could be flipped. Not looking good, I got to say. Not looking good.
Well, we are going to get out of here in just a bit to do a little recharge break. But hopefully when we come back, we'll be able to put some X's on some of our up against the wall candidates that we've listed in the zine, in this week's midterm zine. Of course, if you're just tuning in, you haven't gotten the zine yet, just head to patreon.com/District Sentinel. It's a free post. You don't have to be a subscriber, and you can just print it out. You're not at work anymore. Well, some of you might be at work. Print it at work. We tell people to print this stuff at work. Use the color printer to print print it at work. But I'm already looking at a few of these. We might have some red X's to apply coming up in the next hour or so. All right, what time is it? It's 7:47 right now. What do you say we reconvene in about 15, 20 minutes, maybe about 8:15. Report some more results. We'll see what the magic number for Democrats to flip the House is. It started at 23. We're already seeing 3 seats that are looking like they're going to flip. So that number could be down to 20 pretty soon here.
Sorry, I was wiping my nose. Still sick.
Tune in, see how Steve Kornacki's doing over at MSNBC and
Don't
CNN.
do that.
But make sure that you come back and check us out. We'll be back in a little bit. We're here in D.C. so that you don't have to be.